It's 21 past 5. You are listening to ABC Victoria. My name is Prue Bentley, here through until 6 o'clock. And if you want to join in the conversation, in fact, very shortly, we're going to talk about AI and whether it's okay to let AI write your application for a job or your CV, your cover letter. I think it would be safe to say a lot of people are doing it right now, but is it okay? If you're an employer, what do you think about it? Do you just throw them in the bin, or do you don't mind it? And if you have been applying for jobs, have you been using it? I'd love to hear from you this afternoon. Lyndon says it's probably a good idea to get AI to write your resume and your job application because initial selection will probably be undertaken by AI. Okay. And then this as well. If the job you're applying for has elements of using AI, then yeah, you'd be silly not to. Okay, well, thank you very much. 0467842722. So a couple of people in favour of that, but have a listen to this.
I'm writing to express my interest in the registered nurse position at Warragul Hospital as advertised. With a strong commitment to patient-centred care and a passion for delivering high-quality nursing services in regional healthcare settings, I'm excited about the opportunity. I hold a Bachelor of Nursing and am registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia.
Oh, that sounds really terrific, doesn't it? Sounds like a very standard job application. But that was actually the result of us asking an AI generator to write a sample cover letter for a nursing job in Warragul. Andrew Kelso was the voice you heard there. And Andrew, do either of us hold degrees in nursing?
Not that I know. Do you? What? Do
Absolutely
you,
not. No. So he guessed that for us, which is very nice of it, but it is clearly a bit misleading.
Exactly, and it's strange to think that it decided to just make up these qualifications for us because we gave it no information about our background, who we were, what our qualifications were. It just made that assumption that we were doing that, but it didn't check it at all.
Thank you, Andrew. Look, it raises a lot of questions. Should you use artificial intelligence to create a job application? Does it put you front of the queue or into the bin? The Inverloch-based job search website Gippslander, which was launched earlier this year, has asked this question on social media, and Gippslander's founder, Kane Bond, joins you now. Hi, Kane.
Oh, hi, Prue. Good to be with you.
So, I mean, it's pretty easy to write me a cover letter for this job into an AI generator. But when you asked your social media followers, who are all people who are interested in recruitment in the Gippsland area, what did they say they thought about that kind of practice?
Yeah, gosh, if it isn't hard enough to find a job, now you've got to compete against people using AI, and are you using it correctly? So we asked a large group of our community who regular contributors to posting ads to gippslander.com.au or job seekers, and it was very, very mixed. So we had 41% lead the way on maybe. So maybe as long as it's your own experience and values, but 23% said it's a smart way to polish and improve, but a very, very passionate 36% Prue said, no, it shouldn't be allowed. It should be 100% written by you. So it was very divided.
I'd be very curious, Kane, to hear, and I'm sure you probably haven't collected this data, but I'd be very interested to know the demographic makeup of all of those answers, because my gut feeling would be that older people would be firmly in the 36 or so percent that says, no, do not use it at all. What do you think?
Yeah, no, look, you're absolutely correct. And a lot of the comments showed, especially from older Gippslanders, is that a little bit worried. I mean, they've got to compete against younger people who are using AI or potentially using AI to put their resume and job application together. So it can be a little bit daunting when you don't use that technology or just don't want to use that technology.
What did you make of the little cover letter or sample cover letter that we generated in, 3 seconds flat?
You know, it's scary in a lot of ways because, as you mentioned, you didn't prompt it with any qualifications, and it came up with something that did sound like, to me, it sounded like it was written by a human. So I think it really goes to show, if you're using AI to polish up your resume or your application, you've got to make sure that it's all truthful. Like, you can't make stuff up, and AI does that.
As somebody, Kane, who is involved in recruitment and human resources, for want of a better term, what are people talking about? How are they viewing these kinds of submissions? I mentioned, is it going to get you to the front of the queue, or is it going to get you into the bin? Are people taking hard and fast approaches to this?
Look, we have a lot of employers who are posting on Gippslandr, and I speak to a lot of those employers, and a lot of them are asking me about AI. Should they allow a resume? They'll get someone mentioned to me the other day, they had a job application for somebody who was applying for a cleaning position, and it sounded like they were applying for the CEO position. It was written so perfectly with more qualifications than what you would expect. So some employers can spot the AI, some can't. Some tell me that they're quite happy for people to use AI as long as when you have that interview, you can back up everything that's being said. But then some employers are passionate. I spoke to one a couple of weeks ago who said if they get something that is even remotely suspected to be AI generated, it goes straight into the bin. So I think it's a bit of a risky game, Prue.
Where do you stand?
Look, I think that it's okay, but I think that you've got to write your resume, or you've got to write the cover letter. I think where AI comes in, it can be a sanity check, so to be able to get another perspective of the tone, to check the grammar, to check the spelling. We've got spell checkers on our word processors anyway, so AI does that very, very well. But I think you've got to draw the line when you're hitting that submit button, submitting that application. It really needs to be you, and it needs to be your experience, and you're going to be asked to back all of that up in a job interview. So I think use it, but use it with caution.
Do you think job interviews will change as a result of this, to really test people more on some of the things perhaps that they are claiming in either resumes or cover letters?
I think they have to, Prue, and I think they are. I think that employers need to dig further into a resume. A resume really, and a cover letter, gets you into that interview, but if there's a big separation of how you're presenting yourself in an interview and what's written on the application, that's going to make it very, very hard for you to get that job. But employers that I'm speaking to who are posting jobs on our website, they are a little bit concerned about it, as we mentioned before, but they are asking more questions and really trying to dig into the resume a lot more than what they previously would have.
How's the Gippslandr going, the website?
Yeah, look, it's going really, really well. So we launched earlier this year. We've got loads of really good, kind of those jobs that keep the economy going, being listed. And we're seeing week on week more and more job seekers. We're trying to engage with the community as well. It's not just about putting jobs on a website, but it's also engaging with job seekers, having resources to help them put together a resume, put together a cover letter, and put together a good job application so they can get into something. Because we don't want people having to jump on the bus or the train or in the car going to Melbourne. We want people to stay in Gippsland and continue to work in Gippsland.
Kane, really good to catch up with you today. So interesting to hear your research on AI and its uses. I think, as you have pointed out, there is a very big maybe component. So it's a very much a depends answer, but I suspect that's going to start changing over time. So we'll keep watching this space.
Thank you very much for having me, Prue.
That was Kane Bond, the founder of the Gippslandr, which is a job search site which is dedicated to jobs in the Gippsland region. You're on ABC Victoria.